A aere marie e ako pōtiki, kia kite koe I ngā ina pōtea. Go in peace, my child, and may you walk toward the guiding lights of our ancestors. Today, I stand before you here in Fiji, a place that, like my own home, is rich in culture, faith, and connection. We are united by shared values, shared histories, and a shared responsibility to protect who we are as Pacific people. Many have called it paradise, heaven on earth, but for us, we call it home. Kia ora. A greeting from the Cook Islands that does more than welcome. It draws you into culture, into connection, into belonging. As Miss Cook Islands, I stand grounded firmly in who I am and where I come from, inviting you into a Pacific way of seeing a world, seeing our world. In our Pacific world, identity is not something we search for. It is something we are raised within, shaped by those who came before us and strengthened by those who walk beside us. At the center of this reflection sits something deeper, quieter, and essential. Language. Not as a concept, but as an experience. Language lives in the way we greet one another, in the songs we sing to our children, and the prayers whispered by our elders. It carries humor, discipline, love, and instruction. It teaches us not only how to speak, but how to belong. Through moments both tender and sharp, I show how reo shapes identity, relationships, and the way meaning is passed between generations. I acknowledge change, distance, and the pressures of the modern world, migration, technology, and time itself, while firmly rejecting the idea that language is a weakness or an afterthought. Because today, our greatest challenge is not losing our cultures, is not losing our islands. It is losing the stories that make us who we are. Every time a language falls silent, every time a tradition is forgotten, we risk becoming strangers to ourselves, disconnected from our ancestors and uncertain of our place in the world. But this is not a story of loss. It is a statement of intention. My generation carries a sacred responsibility, not only to celebrate culture when we wear it on stage or speak of it in communities, but to live with it, to lead with it, and to safeguard it for those yet to be born. As Pacific people, the ocean does not divide us, it defines us. It has always been our pathway, our teacher, and our protector. Though our islands are scattered across the vastness of the sea, our spirit remains united. Small islands, strong cultures, one Pacific voice. We are voyagers. Our ancestors crossed the greatest ocean in the world, guided only by the stars, faith, and an unshakable belief in where they were meant to go. Today, those same stars call us again, not across water, but across time. They call us to carry our culture forward with courage, to honor the sacrifices of those who came before us, and to ensure that those who come after us never have to search for who they are or where they belong. Tonight, today, I stand before you not just as a representative of the Cook Islands, but as a guardian of something timeless, because culture is our identity, our strength, culture is life, hope, and belonging. And if we choose to protect it, if we choose to carry it with purpose and pride, then culture will always be our future. Me te kia tupaka, inaka bakaleru.
If you were Miss Cook Islands and Miss Pacific Islands 2026, drawing on the lessons that you've learned from the exposure from being amongst such wonderful champion female leaders, what would be your message that you would take to your 100,000 plus diaspora Cook Islanders that live offshore, that live away from the Cook Islands? You spoke on the challenge of distance. So what would be that message that you would take in terms of revitalization and preservation of your language?
Thank you for the question. I do agree. Our Cook Islands language is fading very quickly. I was fortunate enough to be raised in the culture to learn our language. I was born and raised in Aitutaki and now living overseas. And I have seen with the 4th and 5th generation of Cook Islanders, they don't speak the language, which is a huge different comparison to the Samoa Tonga I've seen that overseas in Melbourne. They still practice their language. So I would encourage our community to help the youth participate in practicing our language, whether that is at church or in our cultural dances, because we sing our songs in our language when we dance. And Naka, thank you.
How do you close the gap, the intergenerational gap? You talk about one specific voice. So how can you close the gap between the younger generation and the old generations in terms of their the loss of language? What do you propose to do?
Yes, the world is rapidly changing as we see. But I would say with the technology use and modernization, they should never compete with culture. They should collaborate. With myself, I digitize on my dances. That's how I promote my culture online and my language. But I would encourage, like I said before, I would encourage the youth to have something unshakable, like a foundation, and after God, that should be our culture, our language. And so I would encourage our elders who still know the language to pass it on to our younger generation, and because our culture, we don't live it, we practice it every day. That's how we remember it. So if we can get the youth to practice that every day, just sing the songs of our languages, that would also help. And if I can encourage other Cook Islanders overseas who don't speak the language but can learn from what I post online, my contents, then I will be happy as well to inspire them.